Right, well, I'm going to begin by asking you, it's a bit of a tough question. If you could just tell us a little bit about this episode and how you feature in it, obviously without giving away any of the sort of surprises for viewers.
Okay, so I'm doing an episode called Men Against Fire. I play a character called Stripe. He is a soldier. I would say he's a pretty good guy. And he lives in this kind of world which pretty much seems like Earth. I couldn't tell you what country it's in, but it's set in the future, but not too distant. It seems pretty close to now, but there are definitely differences between now and then. And he's basically been assigned to protect a group of villagers from vicious, feral, man-eating mutants. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I'm allowed to say. Probably said too much.
Quite good work, actually. I was wondering, I mean, needless to say, of any Black Mirror episode, there's countless sort of twists and turns along the way. I mean, when you were reading the screenplay, were you as sort of engulfed in it as we, as viewers, are now watching the episode? Were you kind of desperately wondering how this is going to play out?
Yeah. I'm still wondering. And yeah, it was very exciting to read. It was one of those page turners, and you're just like, what's happening next? Wow, what? And then you're actually doing it. And it's like, it's so technically challenging because there's so many little intricate kind of details in his storytelling that you don't want to miss as the actor when you're trying to tell the story. Just these little beats, you know. But yeah, it's wonderful.
So when you're playing a character in the future, or just sort of slight, sort of near distant future, I mean, do you still have to act slightly differently? I mean, because do you sort of have any sort of subtle changes to your kind of demeanour just because of the fact that society changes and we kind of change in very subtle ways? I was wondering, when you play a character in the future, if you feel like you can't be exactly how you would treat a character in the kind of present day.
Okay. To be honest, it feels a bit more liberating because I feel like there's less kind of confines to how I'm supposed to be. I did try to make him different. I tried to change his accent slightly, not too crazily, but just slightly, so it didn't sound like you could tell where he was from. And yeah, just kind of behaviorisms. I just wanted to make him an individual, basically, but it's a tricky one.
I mean, you obviously get to run around with a massive gun, and it must be quite fun because when we're sort of kids, we sort of hide behind doors with our fingers like that, and then come out and sort of shoot people in the corridors, whatever. And it's like,
yeah.
Does this sort of, when you make a sort of a TV series like this, I mean, does it kind of tap into that quite innate, kind of playful idea of the kind of world of make-believe that we have when we're kids, when we kind of dream of being an actor one day?
Yeah, it did. And I mean, I thought they were a bit crazy because they actually gave me a gun. So, hey, this is your prop, which is not a prop, it's a gun. And they're telling me that, you know, if I have to stand a certain distance away, make sure I don't aim it at someone because you could kill them. And it's like, this is an actual gun. Yeah. I've never used one before and you're trusting me with it. Okay. But yeah, you do kind of, it's very easy to kind of become like a kid and become childlike, and there's something also quite scary about that as well, because I think people do that in real life with actual guns. Do you know what I mean? And it's not fun. But yeah, that kind of did kick in, where you're just running around and there's the adrenaline going on, and you're playing a soldier basically. It's like basically being a kid, but you're getting paid more.
And I was just finding, I was sort of standing in the corner before, and I saw that Gugu Mbatha-Raw sort of came over and sort of introduced herself. And it's interesting because you're both here promoting the same TV series, but is it quite weird when you don't know other people that are making the other kind of episodes, and you can kind of technically sit down and watch some of the other episodes and treat it like I would, like any audience member would? That must be quite cool, and that's something that we don't usually get with kind of actors in TV series. Don't usually have that kind of option, I guess, to do that.
Yeah, it's a bit exciting. It's like we've all kind of been given a task to do, and we've all kind of gone off into separate rooms, and we're kind of working on the same thing but separately, so we have no idea what the other people are doing, and then you come back together and you're bringing this work together, and you have no idea what someone else is bringing to the table. So it's like, you know what you've done, and then you get to show that and get excited about what everyone else has brought, to kind of tell this complete story, which isn't one story. It's fun. It keeps things exciting.
Well, thanks so much for your time today. Much appreciated.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys! Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey